It's cold here in Tennessee today, but the soup is ready. I think we need a biscuit to go with it. So get the apron out and let's get it on, because when the apron comes out, the food is going to be good. Today we're going to be making my great-grandmother's biscuits. They are my great-grandmother Granny Browning's biscuits, and this recipe has been passed down through several generations. There are lots of ways to make biscuits. This is just the one that my family likes, so I'm going to share that with you today. For today's recipe, we need Crisco, white lily flour, some salt, baking soda, baking powder, and a cup of buttermilk. We're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. So our flour, our salt, our baking soda, and our baking powder. We're going to start by measuring out 2 cups of flour. I run that through the sifter just to get any lumps out. Next, I'm going to add a tablespoon of baking powder along with a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. I couldn't find my teaspoon today, so this is my half teaspoon. Then we're just going to give that a good mix and get it all together. Once you have all your dry ingredients together in the bowl, then you want to add your shortening, or your Crisco in this case. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of Crisco to our dry ingredients, and then we're just going to work that in until it turns into a fine crumb in our flour. Once we have the shortening combined with our dry ingredients, then we're going to go back and add our buttermilk. Now we're going to add a cup of buttermilk to our dry ingredients and just work those until they turn into a solid dough. We're going to flour our board and then turn our dough out and just pat that down until it's about 1 inch thick. I'm not sure you can tell, but I'm using my thumb as a guide to get us to the 1 inch thickness. Then you take your cutter and flour it and begin to press out your biscuits. Be careful not to twist the cutter, because that seals the edges of the biscuit, causing them to not rise properly in the oven. Once we have our biscuits onto our pan, we are going to place them into a 425-degree preheated oven. We're going to bake those for about 10 minutes. We just want the tops of the biscuits to be slightly brown. And I'll show you what that looks like when they come out of the oven. Okay, guys, here's what it's supposed to look like coming out of the oven. And yes, I snuck that tiny biscuit on, but just look at that money shot. Look at the steam coming out of that biscuit. Around here, we like ours with a little bit of butter and a little bit of honey, but you can have whatever you like. Thanks for baking with me today. I hope you make these for your family. Mmm.